Yeah, no, I do feel really good about it. It's a high volume offense, and so it's taken a lot of work, a lot of studying. But I feel like I'm at a really good point with it, and it's at a good point where I feel in control. I feel like I know what I'm doing out there.
How much is that something that we on the outside don't understand, that a quarterback and an offense have to be fit?
I think it is. It's really important, and I think it's situation. I think it's fit, and I think it just takes time to learn an offense too, and to find your comfort in it, regardless of the offense it is too. So, yeah, it's super important.
Is this the type of offense that it's good to be really experienced, that you've seen a lot?
I think any offense is helpful to be experienced. Yeah, I don't think there's one more than the other.
How much did you thrive feel like you thrived when Coach threw you in there with about 5.5 minutes left in the second quarter?
I mean, it's preseason, so you never know when you're going to go in the game, and you just got to be ready. It's the same thing as being a backup in the regular season. You never know when your number's going to be called, so you just got to be ready.
Like I don't really consider that a full game, because obviously the way it ended, towards the end, one of my teammates, just to see that happen, it's just like, I wasn't even thinking about the game afterwards, so it's kind of just like scrapped out of my mind now. But to be honest, yeah, out of again, like I said, out of 40 plays, I wish I could have 5 or 6 plays back where I could have been better. But yeah, that's all I'm gonna say.
You feel like you took a step forward, though?
Yeah, I definitely did feel like I took a step forward. I mean, going into the game, I had no idea whether I was going to be playing the whole game, the second half, or whatever. But the way I prepare is that just be ready to be the next man up. And because we got a couple guys banged up in the room, and I told myself, if I'm going to play, I'm going to just approach this week like I'm going to play the whole game. And Hank told me literally right before we went out that he said, you're going to play the whole game. So, yeah, I definitely did feel like I took a step forward, and I'm just looking to keep building off that. So, yeah.
Where did you feel that step forward show up the most? Like, was that in your execution, consistency? Where did it feel like you?
I'll just feel like my mental game, like knowing my assignments, like knowing where to go, coming off the snap count. Because last year those were simple things where I was like struggling with, right? Because here at this level, we have multiple different cadences. At this level we can flip plays, we can have one play and switch it to a whole nother play mid-cadence, so now it's like those things are just like, okay, we're switching from here to a pass play, boom, boom, boom. Like I know where I'm going, I'm setting here, there. I know where I'm going, I'm gonna set here. Even though I set here, hands may not be perfect, but looking back at it last year, like they might have said kill to this play and I might have went this way. So it's like those things are like I'm noticing that I'm picking up faster on. And just the technique stuff now that I got to clean up, right? Looking back at it, I've watched the game like 10 times probably. And like my hands constantly showed up, like inconsistency on my hands in pass pro, those are just things I got to clean up. So, yeah.
As you start to master the mental side of it, it's got to be filling you with more confidence physically, right? To know that you're executing your assignment and then you can just go play freely.
Yeah, like my confidence is growing each and every day, even though the hard days on the field here, those are things that I need to experience because, like as a football player, like you need to experience hard days in order to move on to better days, right? And grow. So, like practice sets me up for those games, right? Like no one in this league practices as hard as we do. And so when it comes down to the game, one thing I notice is that, as hard as we practice, and I'll admit it, like I get my ass whooped out here, but then when it comes down to the game, like everything's so slow to me. Right, and like that's one thing me and Hank spoke about at the Chargers game. I was like, man, comparing our speed out here to game level, like, there's a method behind Dan's psycho, like his brain, right? Like you sometimes as a player you're like, man, why are we going this hard? And then you get to the game and then you just realize like, oh, okay, so this is why we do this. So, yeah.
Is that the silver lining going against Hutch and Davenport?
Yeah, like man, like going against those two, like every day, like yeah, Davenport, Hutch, like either or, like those guys get me better each and every day, right? And I'm like a sponge. Like even when I get beat, like I go up to Hutch and I'm like what made you feel like you beat me here? Like what made you feel like you could have took my inside here? And then he'll be like, oh, you're just oversetting, dude. Like just narrow up, like set square, and things like that. Like even they are helping me, and I'm always trying to look for help. So, and even like guys like our O-line room, such a veteran room. Like I'm extremely blessed and I'm grateful for the room that I'm in, because like talking to the vets, not every room in the NFL is like that where they're willing to take a guy in and be like, big brother to him, and that's how I feel. And I'm just thankful for all those guys. So, yeah.
You spoke about Hank a couple times, but you look at the competition. You guys, it's like the O-line has been set the last couple years. It's been one of the strong points, but it's super competitive. Everybody fighting for spots. How has Hank helped y'all, in this process, and what has the competition done for you guys as well as a unit?
Yeah, like competition in the room, competition brings the best out of us, right? So we're just competing every day. I mean, we're a pretty tight-knit group. No one's like looking to out anyone out. Like no one's trying to like take a job off someone. We're just coming out here and putting our best foot forward, hard work. Our O-line room, we're just a blue-collar room, man. Like we're a unit. We just go to work. Each one of us tries our best, and whoever Hank thinks the best five is that comes on Sundays to play, that's who he's going to go with, But we're all in it together. We're all grinding. Yeah, it's competitive, but we're also there to support each other. So. Oh yeah, like that's one thing about these practices, man. It's, like these guys already know my tendencies. Like, I change my stances based on like certain downs, and as soon as they see that, they know like, oh, it's a run, But when I do it in a game, the end's like, oh, what the hell is that? So like it catches them by surprise. So like, yeah, I can't wait to face somebody else than a Lions jersey. So, that's also one thing I love about game days is when we come into these preseason games. It's I'm like, yes, like I get to face a different face, a different person that I've never met, right? That I've never went up against. So it's fun. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Oh, he's gonna give them work for sure. Yeah, man, he's gonna give them work, and not only just him, but Davenport. Like Davenport's, he's something else. I mean, like just talking about like sheer power, like I've taken bull rushes in my life and like throughout these preseason games, but like his bull rush is just something else. Like, and Decker and other guys could agree. Like it's really hard to stop.
Were you there? If so, can you take us through the emotions of being on the sideline and then the next day finding out he's okay? He's gonna be okay.
For this?
Yeah, this.
Oh, I was sitting in the locker room actually, split screening.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't.
Still, I'm sure you got that chill. Like.
Yeah, no, I mean, I was sitting here and didn't see it in the play, and then I think they replayed it once, and I was like, ooh. So yeah, that was not a good time, being here, and then Brandon and all the player support staff there. There are a couple people back here, trying to get information. So just look, Mo is he's a great part of this team. A great dude, and seeing him go down like that, I'm sitting there like a fan. But it started early in the game. I got a picture sent of Justin in an air cast. Like, it doesn't happen in warm-ups. So, it's just things like that it's a constant reminder, and hopefully whoever's got the voodoo doll on us can just undo the pin. This is unbelievable. Legs and everything else. Crazy.
Mo came back yesterday, or when you heard he was okay, what sort of relief washes over?
Oh, it was great. First thing I did was go up and ask him how his nap was. And I think that's probably my coping mechanism, for better or for worse, is humor. So, is what it is. But obviously super grateful that he's okay. So.